Yes, I am aware that there is a new trailer for the Avengers Age of Ultron, but instead of talking about how awesome that trailer is, let's talk about the second installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. It is not the sequel to the Hulk movie that was directed by Ang Lee. It is a reboot movie. At first, Universal was trying to make a sequel to that Hulk movie, but it was in development hell for a long time, and eventually they just scrapped it and just started from scratch. And so Marvel Studios, they helped them, Universal distributed it, and Marvel Studios, they made it. Even though it's a reboot movie, they barely talk about how Bruce Banner became the Hulk. They do address it in the opening credits of the movie. During the opening credits, you learn how Bruce Banner became the Hulk. Because everybody and their mama, they know how Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk. What happened, Bruce Banner was working on an experiment for the US military, and he decided to test it on himself, and what could possibly go wrong? Either A, nothing, or B, every time you get angry you turn into an enormous green rage monster. The answer is the latter. But the Hulk kills a couple of people, and now Bruce is public enemy number one. He is a fugitive, and that is where the movie starts. Now, I don't like that they showed his origin story through the opening credits, because again, we all know how Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk. We don't need to sit through an hour or half an hour learning how Bruce Banner becomes the Hulk. Comic Book Studios, please, take note of this. DC Comics, if you're watching this, I'm looking at you, Batman. And Marvel Studios, if you're watching this, I'm looking at you, Spider-Man. After the credits, we see Bruce Banner living in Brazil, and we see him living off the grid. He's learning breathing and meditation exercises to keep himself calm so he doesn't get angry and turn into the Hulk. And he is also trying to find a cure. And I love how they illustrate that, because we actually get to see Bruce Banner live with this Hulk thing on a daily basis. And I love Edward Norton in the role as Bruce Banner. He's such a good actor, he gave some humanity to Bruce Banner. The aspect I love about Edward Norton in this movie is we get to see some contrast between puny Bruce Banner to enormous Hulk. He had the acting talent and the physique for Bruce Banner, and I was bummed out that Edward Norton didn't come back for the Avengers. But I'm going to touch more on that in the Avengers review video. But to me, Edward Norton is the best Bruce Banner. Now, when he hulks out, it is the coolest thing ever. The military finds him in Brazil, and these jerks starts messing with him, and then you all know the famous line, "Don't make me angry. He wouldn't like me when I'm angry." And so Bruce Banner gets angry, he hulks out, he turns into the Hulk, and then not only he fights off the jerks, but he fights off the military, and he just grabs them and then just throws them like frisbees, and then he took this forklift and he just threw it like it was a softball, as Tim Roth said in the movie. After that, Bruce has to go to the States to meet up with Mr. Green so that he can find the cure. But General Ross, played by William Hurt with his mustache, "Bring in the cows, move your asses!" General Ross hears about this and he's like, "Oh, you're back home? Okay, you're mine." Now, William Hurt, he is great as General Ross. One of the cool things I like about the Hulk is the mythology of the back and forth between the Hulk and the military. I find that really interesting, because you got the Hulk trying to avoid the military, and the military, they just keep coming and trying to take him down. The reason the military tries to bring him down is because the military and General Ross, they want to weaponize the Hulk. But Bruce Banner's like, the Hulk cannot be controlled. We have to destroy it. There's even a deleted scene on the Blu-ray where we see Bruce Banner, he tries to kill himself. That is how dangerous the Hulk is, when Bruce Banner is willing to kill himself just so he can destroy the Hulk. But that fails as well. That's how powerful the Hulk is. But General Ross wants to weaponize the Hulk, but he's just not getting that. He wants to weaponize it, and he blames Bruce for all the trouble that he's going through, but really, it's really Ross's fault. I just love the way they illustrate that, because seriously, after that first time when Bruce Banner hulks out, someone, Nick Fury or Agent Coulson, someone in S.H.I.E.L.D. should have went up to General Ross. After he said he wants to weaponize the Hulk, they should have told him, "No, that is not a good idea. Idiots do that." I can even see Nick Fury telling him, "Alright, look, if you want to put down the Hulk, that's fine. But I'm telling you, in the process, you're going to lose more men, and it's going to cause more problems for not only you, but the Hulk as well. So really think it through, General Douche." But General Ross does not care. He wants his Hulk weapon. Another thing I love about The Incredible Hulk, I totally missed it the first couple times I've seen it, and I even missed it when I saw it in theaters. But the experiment that the US military is doing, that Bruce Banner volunteers for, that is the Super Soldier program from World War II. You know, Captain America. I love how they tie that in, because when you watch future Marvel movies, you notice that, and then you weren't thinking about that when they go back to this movie. You will see that, and it's like, oh, I see. See, what happened in this movie is also relevant to that movie. Also, within the film, Bruce and the Hulk not only have to fight off the military, they also have to fight off Emil Blonsky, played by Tim Roth. He gets an injection of the serum, and the first time he fights the Hulk, he's kind of like Captain America, and he tries to go square up with the Hulk, but he fails. And I love the action sequence at the university where the Hulk fights the military. It's one of my favorite action sequences of that movie. It's just, we see the Hulk fighting the military, and he's just dodging cannons or whatever. He's picking up tanks and just throwing them and wailing them and smashing them. After that, the Hulk escapes with General Ross's daughter, Betty Ross, who is played by the lovely Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler is great in the movie too. I love the scene where the both of them, they're in the cave, and we see her interact with the Hulk because she still sees Bruce Banner within the Hulk. And ultimately, it's kind of like poetry. You got Betty Ross, who is the beauty, and the Hulk is the beast. And then throughout the film, we see her standing by Bruce Banner's side and helping him trying to find the cure. And she does not approve of everything her father does. So she and Bruce end up going to New York to meet up with Mr. Green, who is Mr. Stearns, you know, the leader. But it is revealed that Mr. Stearns kept some of Bruce's blood, and he may have a cure for him. They tried and either annihilate the Hulk or just suppress the Hulk for a while. But it doesn't work. But long story short, the military track them to Mr. Stearns' lab, and they capture Bruce and Betty, and they're getting ready to take them back home. But they leave behind Emil Blonsky, who was at first ejected, and he is still alive, but he wants more of the injection. So he gets some of Bruce Banner's blood and the serum that's already within him. He mixes it all together, and he becomes the Abomination. And this is my second favorite action sequence of the movie because we finally get to see the Hulk fight someone that's actually a threat to the Hulk. And I just love seeing the Hulk just take that police car, break it in half, just using it as boxing gloves and just wailing on the Abomination. Now, I know for some people that's their least favorite part of the movie because I know I can understand. It's because you got big CGI Hulk fighting the big CGI Abomination in all their CGI glory, and ultimately it becomes a big CGI fest. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that, and I can understand why you would feel that, but honestly, I don't mind because, again, we get to see the Hulk fight someone that is a threat to him, and that is his size. And look, I'm just saying, unless you're the most powerful superhero in the universe, the greatest detective, can run fast, or have the ability to heal fast, a god from another world, have your own Iron Man suit that is made specifically to fight the Hulk, or you are the Hulk but more controlled and patriotic, there is no way you're going to last in a fight with the Hulk. I'm just saying, it'll pretty much be just like... Well, there's his head. He's dead. I win. Now, long story short, the Hulk gets the upper hand and beats the Abomination. And then he flees from New York. And then at the end of the film, we see Bruce Banner. He is in British Columbia. And we see that he has learned to Hulk out when he wants to. After that, we see General Ross in that bar. He's drinking his sorrows away. And then who comes through the door? I remember the first time I saw that in theaters, I was like, wait, who's that? Oh, God, that's Tony Stark. Yes, indeed, that is Tony Stark. He comes through and he's talking to General Ross saying that I'm here to put together a team. And then General Ross is like, who's we? And then boom, cut to credits. I remember when I saw that part in the theaters, when we saw Tony Stark walk on the screen, pretty much everyone was like, oh! Because after that scene and seeing Nick Fury at the end of the end credits of the first Iron Man movie and knowing what he was there to talk to Tony about and seeing what Tony Stark was there to talk to him about, you know what was coming, and it got everyone real excited for it. That scene was a good way to tie this movie to the Avengers. In the end, I know the Hulk is a difficult character because you're trying to show the humanity of Bruce Banner, but at the same time show enough Hulk. Because if you show more Hulk, it'll just become a big CGI mess. I thought this movie right here did a good job of keeping it well balanced. Even though I wish Edward Norton would stick around as Bruce Banner, and I wish they would finally make a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, and I can understand they're not trying to make a sequel for The Incredible Hulk unless the overall plot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe calls for it. I can understand, but it still would be nice to see a new sequel for the Hulk. But I still love this movie for what it was. As far as The Incredible Hulk, I think for this movie it's as good as it's ever going to get for right now. This is by far the best standalone Hulk movie that we have ever gotten. I'm going to give The Incredible Hulk an A for full price. That's it for the day. Like what you see, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel. The links are in the description below. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. And be sure to check out my website. Peace.